Welcome trainers to the series where we update the type chart and edit all 18 types with our own changes as well as your own input. From the interactions they have with other types, certain battle effects associated with the type, and any alterations we can make to existing information regarding the type. The Dark type was introduced in Gen 2 to basically overcome the psychic powerhouses of Gen 1. Game Freak had to create a type so unbalanced that an entirely new type had to be created to balance the type chart once again. However, does it live up to the same reputation in today's meta? For me personally, it's not a type I can get behind. I could probably list off about a dozen dark types I actually like, and even then probably half the list are known or appreciated more for their secondary typing. The typing itself is pretty lazy if you ask me. It's super effective to Ghost and Psychic, but that's the same job that Ghost does, but better. If you're going to create a new type, it should at least stand out and not copy the same material as a different type. It doesn't end there though, because thanks to Fairy being introduced in Gen 6, the Dark type is now resisted by fighting Dark and Fairy. It's like they just gave up caring for dark types and hoped people would be more excited for their designs and lore instead of the actual type matchups. On the defensive side, it's not that bad. It's pretty decent, but nothing revolutionary. It's weak to fighting, bug and fairy, which makes it an awkward typing to tack onto a Pokemon that would rather be hit for neutral damage instead. Think of Pokemon like Tyranitar, Pangoro and Meowscarada. They were doing alright as rock, fighting and grass types, but now suffer from a quad weakness to fighting, fairy and bug respectively. Where the dark type truly shines is in its resistances. It may only resist Ghost and Dark, but honestly, sometimes that's more than enough. Pokemon like Spiritomb, Incineroar and Overqwil definitely appreciate having the Dark type, and an immunity to Psychic is the key reason some players opt for a Dark type on their team. The immunity to Prankster moves is also why I can't completely hate on the Dark typing. I just feel its job is shared too tightly with Ghost, and is carried by the stab options they get, as opposed to actually being a versatile type. So let's see where we can change some of the interactions around. So offensively, let's keep it being super effective to Ghost and Psychic. I wouldn't want Psychic types dominating once more, but hey, stick around for the Psychic type video to see what I do there. I will, however, make it super effective to Electric. Dark type in Japanese is the evil type, and usually evil forces seek power in one way or another. A perfect example of power is in the form of electricity. Electric does need another weakness, and I think Dark would be a perfect option. Let's also take away its disadvantage to Fairy. Fairy will still be super effective, but I think it's a little unfair for it to be able to resist Dark. Therefore, the resistance will shuffle over to Fire instead, which you can see why by watching the previous video of this series. Just for good measure, I'm going to make Steel resist Dark once more like it did in the past. I think it's a fair trade and makes sense considering the offense it now has against Electric and Fairy. As for the defensive side, I'm only going to make one change, and that's to Bug. Fairy and Fighting will still be super effective, and Dark will still resist itself and Ghost. The immunity to Psychic is still going to be relevant, but I think making it weak to Bug is a little random. It suggests that bugs are more sinister and evil than the darkness itself, which I suppose is true if you have a phobia to bugs. But as a game mechanic, bugs should have their focus on other types instead, which I'll cover in a future video. Speaking of game mechanics, let's discuss what I'd implement to make dark types a little more viable than just prankster blockers and side spam enjoyers. I think my idea of room should resurface for the dark type. Set up a sinister room that increases dark type special defense by 1.5. It'll be like an assault vest, but for all dark types on the field, and you can still use protect. Like with the other rooms, this effect can be activated by a move or ability, and it will last for 5 turns unless overridden by another room. This is how the chart looks now, and I'm a lot happier I've covered Ghost and Dark to distinguish the two. They both now have their own sets of strengths and weaknesses. In today's meta, Dark would definitely appreciate being able to hit Electric for super effective damage, and now Fairy for neutral damage, but have I gone too far, or not enough? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep updated on the remainder of the types. Until then, however, make sure to train hard and team build to the best of your ability, and I'll see you guys in the next video.